Always like to know how many shareholders we have in the room. But I've recognized some of you guys. Yeah, thank you very much for your support. We continue to execute nicely, and we'll talk more about that right now. So here we are today with more than 140 royalties in the world, another 100 properties in addition to that part and parcel to our business model. We sell those projects off and keep royalties. We've been doing that robustly for over 2 decades, giving us exposure to over 4 million acres of mineral rights worldwide, and a nice diversified mix of gold, silver, copper, lead, zinc, and molybdenum in terms of production cash flow at this point in time, as well as some prospects that are tied to sulfide nickel systems and their associated metals. I'll go through and talk about the producing royalties here real quick. Leeville gold with some byproduct silver in Nevada, operated by Barrick through Nevada Gold Mines. That asset has been performing really nicely for us over the last couple of years now, paying over $4 million per annum at that point in time, and that is in USD. We are a Canadian company, but we do report in USD, so the numbers I'll give you are USD. Gold Bar South is a small royalty, paying nicely for us, a few $100,000 a year. There are some key discoveries going on in Arizona, and the real reason why you want to own royalties long-term is discovery optionality. Of course, we like that current cash flow, and that can enable us to continue to build this portfolio. But what you want is for people to make big discoveries within our ground. One of my overlying premise of building the portfolio is that the value of mineral rights over time will increase, and has throughout my lifetime, as Peter very astutely pointed out. And the best way to be exposed to mineral rights is royalty ownership, because it's the counterparty that is paying for everything: exploration, development, environmental work, on and on and on, engineering studies, all to our benefit. And so it's just wonderful to own these royalties on an ever-increasing portfolio of assets around the world, and discovery optionality is where the real value is created. We like commodity price optionality too. That's been working in our favor. It will likely work even more in our favor in the future. But discoveries is where the big money comes in. So I'll mention those. In Arizona, 2 nice copper deposits being found on our properties there. One at Arizona Sonora's Park Salyer discovery within the Cactus system overall, and the other one, South 32, is advancing a major copper, zinc, silver deposit where we have a royalty, which is the lateral extension of the lead, zinc, silver deposit they have at Taylor in Arizona. I would watch for news on that one. That's a sleeper within the portfolio that people have not recognized. Moving to South America, Caserones, dominantly copper and molybdenum. That's paying us $10 million per annum approximately at this point in time. And Lundin, who is the operator there, has increased the amount of money they're spending on exploration, increased the number of drill meters they're putting in there, and advancing high-grade discoveries within the pit at depth, expanding the mine life, and then also advancing a new sulfide discovery next door at the Angelica project. So we're very, very pleased to have Lundin on that property. They recently purchased 75% of it and aggressively exploring and advancing it. It's already a multi-decade mine life. This will become a mine district where we will have a royalty for fractions of a century or more. Also on the discovery side, the very nice silver gold deposit at Diablillos in Argentina, where we have a 1% royalty. They've been coming out with some nice press releases. We're super excited about that. We bought that royalty quite inexpensively, and it's great to see them advance that with more discoveries. Moving on to Europe, we're one of the largest mineral rights holders in all of Fennoscandia, Norway, Finland, and Sweden. The Viscaria mine, which is iron, gold, and copper, will be the next one to come into production within the portfolio. That's located in the Kiruna district of northern Sweden. That'll be a nice medium-sized royalty for us. Arguably our most valuable royalty and most valuable position in this portfolio is Timok in Serbia. Serbia has the Timok magmatic complex. That's a geological terrain that has the largest historic production of copper and gold in all of Europe. And Zijin, the Chinese mining company, has done a fabulous job at advancing those resources and making more discoveries. And there's something special going on there that I'm going to zero in on here on this presentation. Balya, that's a nice silver, lead, zinc royalty that's paying for us a little over $1.5 million a year. Gediktepe is a silver and gold oxide zone, gold and silver, that's paying nicely, but does have a short mine life. So we expect those dollars to tail off whilst they're developing the sulfide at depth, which is copper and zinc and silver. Will come in over time. So how does that look with respect to our cash flows? We have more money coming in the door every year. The 24 number there is for the first 3 quarters. We're really proud of the fact that we've been able to build this portfolio and enter the zone where we now have distinctly positive cash flow for 8 quarters, and there's no looking back. That's coming from a mix of nice assets, which I just reviewed with you, and a mix of metals, copper, gold being the dominant, with strong contributions from lead, zinc, silver, and molybdenum. So the key thing here is that some of these assets we have purchased and have gained scale to the company. Those are performing nicely, and others we have generated for a de minimis amount of money, such as Timok in Serbia, where I'm into that asset for $200,000 and it's already paid $12 million. It's just a great example of near infinite return on invested capital, and it's the blend of buying royalties as well as generating them that's been able to put us in this situation today where we have these strong cash flows coming from around the world. And right now, the 2 kingpin assets that drive our net asset value that the analysts have highlighted, and National Bank Financial now has a robust analyst report on us with a strong target price over $3, close to $4 per share. And H.C. Wainwright also, both of those guys, H.C. Wainwright's target price is $7, by the way, USD. Both of those guys value our Timok royalty the highest, but these are 2 world-class copper assets. Caserones, copper and moly, operated by Lundin, as I said. Timok, copper and gold, operated by Zijin. They've done a fantastic job at getting metal out of the ground, and these 2 assets alone are worth a multiple of our current share price, according to the analysts. To back that up, we have strong cash flow coming from Gediktepe. As I said, the oxide zone there has a short mine life, but the sulfide will go on for a decade into the future. Leeville's been paying for a long time now. Gold and silver, Balya's paying nicely. We just purchased the Champi royalty. That is a copper mine that will come into production next year. These are the assets that are coming into production in the forthcoming couple of years. Viscaria, copper, gold, iron in Sweden. Diablios, nice discovery, operated by Abra Silver, silver and gold in Argentina, and the Park Salyer discovery in Arizona are great examples. Now, the footprint of our royalty with Lundin is huge. This is the size of a major city, probably about the size of Toronto, and a greater Toronto with all the suburbs. And our royalty is effective throughout that entire yellow box, and they've increased the amount of money that they're planning on spending here. This is to do exploration and find more deposits, in addition to current cash flow of about $10 million per annum coming to us from this asset. Let's move on to Timok. This is a world-class asset, world-class district, major discovery made, one of the biggest, most exciting discoveries in my lifetime in the business. And they're now in production on the upper zone, and the lower zone is a large deposit, 2.5 billion tons at close to 1% copper equivalent, that is on our royalty boundary and is plunging towards another royalty we have that's roughly 3 times larger. Now, very importantly, this is an immense asset for us. We're talking about an incipient payment from the metal that we can see in the ground today, after you take into account metallurgical losses and mining dilution, etc., measured in hundreds of millions of dollars, close to $500 million in metal that will come to us at today's metal price, not tomorrow's metal price, just from those deposits. But there's another major discovery that they're making called the MG zone further to the south that you can see on this slide there. And I've got another slide that zeroes in on that. So this is the upper zone and the lower zone at Timok. The analysts say this is worth over $200 million net asset value to us. That's our entire market cap, just this one asset. The analysts believe that this is worth our entire market cap, paying very nicely. Zijin has on their website this beautiful GIF, which shows how that deposit is completely open-ended. Those flashing lines are the drill holes, and you can see there's no drill definition at depth. This thing is getting fatter and higher grade at depth and moving towards the higher royalty rate boundary, by the way. But that's great news by itself. But now let's go 7 kilometers to the southeast. Zijin, in their last quarterly report, announced that this is a major high-grade discovery and that they will give us details within the next reporting period, which is any day now. We can see on the high-resolution satellite imagery, and we've been to the field to verify, there's a dozen drill rigs turning within our royalty footprint. I've only seen a dozen drill rigs turn on one discovery a couple of times in my career. Those are major assets today. So this is something to keep a keen eye on. And there's a question and answer session coming up, right, Peter? So yeah, look forward to seeing you there, and you can ask all of us hard questions. I thought these talks were just fantastic. A very good group of folks that you brought together here, Peter. And with that, I'll finish it up. Thank you.